शब्द बिना सारा जग अंधा, काटे कौन मोह का फंदा। शब्द बिना सारा जग अंधा, काटे कौन मोह का फंदा। शब्द बिना बिरथा सब तंदा, शब्द बिना बिरथा सब तंदा। शब्द बिना जीव बंधन बंधा, शब्द बिना जीव बंधन बंधा।
Welcome seekers to today's spiritual satsang, titled Communicating with the Divine. Subtitle: The Importance of Holy Meditation and Prayer. I have with me East Asia's main speaker, who is an advanced disciple of a perfect living master. This recording is a continuation of the previous satsang. Thank you, main speaker, for the enlightening satsang. We will now go through the questions put forward by the seekers. Okay, the first question is with regards to what is holy meditation?
Okay, mainly there's two kinds of meditation. So, meditation of the mind and the meditation of the soul. The holy meditation is the meditation of the soul. Because when we meditate upon the soul, we meditate on the real self. We meditate, try to connect with the essence of the God, the Almighty God, unlike the mind meditation. Because the mind meditation is all about raising the consciousness and learning what is happening in the mind realm. So I have found that a lot of people that do meditation on the mind, they tend to expand their consciousness into the creation in order to be able to control, taking control what is happening in the creation. So a lot of meditation of the mind will give them ability, such as stop the rain, such as levitating, flying, or a lot of special ability to access the higher knowledge, or whatever written in the Akashic record, to know about the past, to know about the future. But all of that is just half of the journey of the real meditation. Because meditation divides in two parts, like I said to you. Meditation of the mind, until they reach the top of the second realm. Then in the third realm, they will start to meditate on the soul. So the journey of the soul starts after the journey of the mind. That's why the first part is not so-called holy meditation. It's just the meditation to giving you the self-realization, and the realization is of the mind. And the second part of meditation is the holy meditation, because that meditation of the soul allows you to connect truly to your true self, and that self will connect with the higher knowledge of the truth that is beyond Akashic record. And that, meditation can only be done by connection with a perfect living master. When a perfect living master connects you to the essence of your soul, then you can start to do this holy meditation. So this holy meditation have a name. We call it Surat Shabad Yoga. So it means, Surat, it means soul. Shabad, it means sound current. And the yoga means meditation or reunite of the self. So these master will teach you the technique of connecting to the sound current when they accept somebody as their disciple, when they giving initiation to that somebody. So the meditation technique, unlike the mind meditation, the meditation on the soul will giving the technique of withdraw attention to the wisdom eye center chakra, which is gonna be really different technique to explore the self in different way, to connect with the sound current. And this sound current will have a pulling effect to pull the soul back to its own origin, where Master said is the totality of consciousness or the true home of the soul.
Right. This next question is a very popular question for a lot of spiritual practitioners. I always fall asleep during meditation. How can I improve this?
So most of the meditation is the meditation technique of mind meditation. Even, a lot of people, they've been initiated or accepted by a perfect living master. But their habit is that they do meditation with their mind. So people start to do meditation upon sitting, but at that time, they fail to do the withdraw attention to their wisdom eye center. So what happened is that when they start to meditate, when they reach the wisdom eye center, instead of withdraw attention higher, they try to expand the attention outside. And when the attention expands outside, they get tired and eventually falling to sleep because there's no pulling effects, there's no pulling from the soul. They try to push themselves, like you try to run, to reach the goal. So after some time of running, like you don't see the goal, then the mind will start to get bored and tired and fall asleep, because it's also a function of human body. When we start to close our eye, and right away the body will go to the state of relaxing. When the relaxing comes, then if you don't have the pulling effects from withdrawal of the attention, then right away you will fall asleep. My advice is that, a lot of people, if you come into the connection of a perfect living master, whether you get initiation or not initiation, you can start to think of master first. If you happen to know him or her in your physical life, when we remember that memory, start to meditate upon that memory. Start to contemplate of the experience that you spent with the master first, because the connection of the perfect living master have a pulling effect. When you start meditation with the experience of pulling effects first, you won't fall into sleep during the meditation. That's my simple advice.
Some people meditate for mindfulness practice, but some also do that so that they can have an ease of mind. So the question is, will good meditation help people stop worrying too much?
Yes, if you meditate properly upon the holy meditation or the meditation of the soul, then at that time you will live in God's will. But for the people who still worrying a lot, it means the meditation that you are doing is meditation of the mind. And the mind tend to think all the time, contemplate a lot of things that what if gonna happen in the future? What if this happened to me? What if that happened to my family? So it creates a lot of worry. Because people here, they don't exercise their free will well. So they use their free will of thinking of all kinds of things. And they think that their life is in their control. Whatever happens is their own doing. But in the higher realm, or when you raise your consciousness or awareness in the higher level, from the third level onward, then you will discover that everything is God's will and there's nothing to worry about. Because if we live in the will of the Father, we live in the will of the Lord, at that time, nothing is in our control. And we will have a good sense of acceptance of what come and what not come in our life. And we will not analyze about that. We just be very acceptance and go with the flow of whatever shall happen in your life. Then you see that it's normal. Then you see that you have the ability and the wisdom to deal with that if ever you meditate in the right way, which the holy meditation I told you how to do in the previous answer.
Okay, moving on to the next question. Is it wrong to pray for the well being of others? For example, world peace or even good exam results to the master? Does it actually help to achieve any of these things?
Yes, you can play, everything to master. But I will give you the tip. The holy playing is that you play to master and leave all the results in master hand. So at that time, you fully live in God's will. But if you pray and you expect also the result, then at that time, you live in your own free will. And at that time, the God power cannot operate fully because what you do is a business transaction. Because you say one thing to master and expect master to deliver the result that you wanted. So at that time, master cannot work properly for your wish or helping you properly of what you need. So therefore, I would suggest you to do the holy praying, which is mean you pray to master. You pray to master whether the physical for master, telling master directly, or you pray to your inner master. But you have to leave every result in master hand.
How does thinking of your master be as good as meditation when the act of meditation is actually withdrawing attention towards the eye center?
Right. So the person asked, it means thinking of the physical master, right? As good as meditation, right? So master is in every level at the same time. So even master is here in the physical with us. They also, our real self in the physical form. Master is our destination. Master is God himself or herself that operate in physical form in the physical body that talking to us. So master is the shepherd, the sound current that have the pulling effects in the physical form. So when you pray to the physical master or talking or thinking to the physical master, so-called a perfect living master in the physical form, then yes, at that time, it's as if you talk to God, directly, or it's as if you're thinking of God directly. Because of this connection in the sound current that pulling you to the destination. So at that time, yes, it's as good as a meditation. I would say it's even better than meditation because it gives you the direct result of at that time. You being pulling to the destination is as if you already succeed in your meditation practice. And the thinking and the talking and try to communicate with the master in the physical form or even to your inner master, at that time, you're doing meditation of the soul. You're not doing meditation of the mind.
This question is probably from an initiate. Can you still do traditional religious prayers after being initiated, or should you spend that time meditating instead?
Yes, we can, as initiate, we still have to be fulfill our karmic destiny. Sometimes you will live in a family that they doing a lot of religious prayers or a lot of religious rituals. You can still do that, but your objective of this prayer is different. Let's say before this, you pray to Allah, you pray to Path Master as Buddha, you pray to the Lord Krishna, or you pray to past gurus. Instead of doing that, now your prayer is upon a perfect living master that you know. Because sometimes the past master, they already transcend, they already passed away many years ago, 100 years, 1,000 years ago. They don't know you personally. So when you pray to them, the prayer might reach or not reach them. But if you pray to a perfect living master, because you already have personal connection with a perfect living master, they know you. So the prayer will receive properly, and master will be able to help you 100% directly by you pray to the master. So my suggestion is that you just have to change the subject when you praying to. Even, for example, in my family, we still sometimes go to the temple on the Buddhism festival and we pray to the statue of the Buddha. But in my heart, I always prostrate to the Buddha and thinking of my own master. Because the Buddha is the past master. Maybe Buddha will not know me or recognize me or hearing me directly. But if in my heart at that time, I pray to a perfect living master directly. I believe that master inside me, the inner master, will hear me. And whatever I ask, master will take care of that without fail. But if I pray to the path master that they don't know me, sometimes I feel my prayer might not reaching them.
Ishwaji used to mention that meditation actually means contemplation. So this question is listening to satsang while doing work, I guess this is worldly work, considered as meditation?
Yes, satsang is one form of yoga. So if you be able to do yoga or practice or withdraw your attention and being with master at that time, then the listen to satsang activity while doing other work which require less attention is as good as meditation. Let's say, if listen to the satsang, and your attention put on the listen of the satsang or the spiritual discourse more than 50%, let's say 60% on the master teaching, and you also, doing some work at that time, being cooking, doing paperwork, or working on your computer. But if you be able to put your attention on that spiritual discourse or the satsang more than 60%, then it's as good as meditation. It's one kind of practice of contemplation as well. Because this practice will help you later when you sit and meditate. You will find that your attention will be able to withdraw quicker than when you really have busy day and you're not thinking of master at all, or you don't have chance to listen to spiritual discourse at all during the day. Then at that time, you really operate in your worldly life and not spiritual life. So in order to build upon, your habit to live more in your spiritual mode, you need some help. And that help can be spiritual discourse online that many perfect living master put out there for you to listen. You can listen over and over. Someday you also can have different answer to your question in some part of the satsang. So my advice is that, yes, try to develop contemplation on the master during the day, being a physical activities like put on the YouTube, put on the satsang, put on the spiritual discourse when you trying to do the worldly work. So your attention will be halfway there. When you are trying to sit and meditate and withdraw your attention, you not start from 1, you start from 50, you start from 60. Then it's easier to go to the 100 in your meditation later.
Is the voice in your head the voice of the inner master? How do we differentiate the mind chattering with the voice of the inner master? Is the voice the same as the master who initiated us? I think what this person is asking is the voice chattering. Is it the same voice as the master's voice who initiated us?
Okay. When we have some question in your mind that we would like to ask our inner master, you can, sit and then concentrate a little bit, right? And purposely or sincerely ask. The answer might come instantly, like in the way that it takes no time. When the answer comes instantly, then you can know it's not your mind chatting to you. But sometimes everything just quiet. You cannot hear master at all. But You just leave it in Master's hand. Later on, Master will answer you in different way. Answer will come to something that trigger it. You might listen on YouTube and pick up, the answer from Master Satsang, from Master Spiritual Discord. Or your initiate friend, your spiritual practitioner friend might tell you the answer that you need. Or a lot of time it comes through coincidences, more than 2 or 3 times, repeatedly, to give the answer to you. If you not be able to hear Master directly, or you're not sure if it's your mind answer that, or if it's Master answer that. But intuition kind of answer is always take no time. If it take a lot of time analyzing about that and try to make sense about that, this is not the answer from Master. If the analyzing involved in your thought, it means it's your mind. It's not the inner Master. And the voices that we hear, it already interpret in our mind. So let's say you ask Master the question. The answer already come instantly. But when it filter through your mind, it will project as a thought. And after the thought, you might hear the sound. And that sound, the answer, you might hear as your own voice answer back, or it's your Master kind of sound answer your back. It's possible like that. And you have to notice one thing. Or the answer will come with the feeling of love, or the answer will come with the pulling effects of the vibrational energy of the shepherd. If the answer comes with no love and no pulling effects or no vibration, it means it's your mind talking, and it's not the answer from the Master. So let's say if you have a vision in your dream, if it's Master talking to you, people say that you will hear as if Master talking in a cave to you. So the sound is as if it comes from every direction, because the resonance of the sound is very high pitch, and you will feel like you yourself and Master is in a cave and having conversation. So people told me that when they have a spiritual vision and talking to Master, they will also pick up the vibrational of energy with that vision as well. But if it's the vision that's built by your mind, and for your mind to satisfy, the vision will have less pulling effects, and less of love, and less of feeling of contentment when you experience that.
How can we be sure that the replies we get in contemplation are from the Master and not the mind? Sometimes this reply seems real, and in an instant, at other times it seems it's like wishful thinking. So I guess you sort of answered it already?
Yes, but you can actually check if the question that you got already is from the mind or is from the Master. If you wait, if you have a lot of support evidences after that, mean coincidences happen more than 3 times to support that answer, then you can be sure that answer is from the Master. But if the answer comes and there's no coincidences at all support that, or coincidences or miracle happen in your life, but it contradicts, it's against that answer, it means that answer is also from your mind.
How can we know for sure that the Master is also thinking about us as much as we think about him? Are there any clear signs away from the make-believe mind? I think what the questioner is asking is, are there any clear signs that that the Master is thinking about us, rather than the mind making believe that these are the signs that the Master is thinking about you. So yeah.
Mm. When Master connect with us, or when Master already initiate us, at the time of initiation, Master put part of himself or herself inside us to operate as the inner Master, right? And that Master is our soul, our real self, our true self. And the soul is the quality of divine love. When Master is thinking of us or operate inside us, we will feel love and we will feel treasure. We will feel appreciated by Master. So you can know if you feel content, if you feel happy in your life, that's the sure sign that Master is thinking about us. Is Master is with us all the time. But when you lack of love, and you feel self-doubt and you feel unconfident, inconfident with whatever you do, at that time it's your own mind. It's the make-believe mind. Because the quality of the mind is always negative. When you're negative, then you in the mind frame, you separate from God. But when you feel love, then you feel unite with the love, and you feel unite with your soul, with your divine self. And at that time, you can be sure that Master is with you. Master is thinking of you. The Lord, the God, is operate directly inside you. When you feel all positive, and the positiveness is the quality of the soul and not the mind.
As a new spiritual practitioner that does meditation, I never get any hints or messages during my meditation. I wonder if that is because I didn't fully concentrate, so that it didn't work well. Does this mean I cannot communicate with God right now?
Okay. So the hardest struggle for everyone is to overcome their own mind. So the mind is always active and alive for many million years. So when we in this physical form, the mind is very active because we have been using that. We always give the importance and our real power away to the mind. So the mind is in control of everything. So when you start this journey of rediscovery about your real self, your divine self inside, the mind will always come in the way, because the mind don't want to lose its own power of controlling over you. So the mind will try to be active, and this mind is the hindrance of the progress or the message or the connection of the Master that you will receive. My suggestion is that at that time, we have very good help that God given us in this physical form is the physical Master. If you have direct connection with the physical Master, you can regularly talk to the physical Master to overcome this mind hindrance, to give you a lot of experience of love first. And the mind will be convinced that, oh, the experience of love that you receive from the physical Master is a good thing. And when the mind seeing and accept this experience and try to embrace the spiritual part of love, then you can properly do your meditation with love and devotion and will lead you to the success of the holy meditation and reach the true self and the true home later. And for the people who don't have direct connection to the physical master, you can regularly attend to the Satsang. You can listen to spiritual discourse to provide that mind to have the experience of love. That's why Great Master said to one of the disciples that there's a need of people have to come frequently to meet with a physical master to see a perfect living master. If it's possible, they should come every day. And if it's not possible, they can come once a week, or they can come once a month, they can come once a year. And then if they not even come to see or connect with the physical master once a year, then they have to do it in another lifetime. It's what he means. Is the encouragement for you to overcome the mind and convince the mind of the direct divine experience of divine love.
Okay, the next question is a combination of two questions. Because they are the same, I'm just going to combine them. Is meditation the only way to communicate with the divine? And what is the correct way to communicate with the divine?
The meditation is not the only way to communicate with the divine. The meditation is the means to check that you properly communicate with the divine or not. It's just a checking tool, the checking method that Master given to us. Communication can do in different ways. You can contemplate on the experience that you spend with the Master. You can contemplate on the face of the Master in your mind and in your heart. You can write the email, write a text, do a phone call to a physical master to communicate with the divine. There's many ways you can do.
When I'm in trouble, I have a serious problem that I can't fix, I will pray for God's grace to help me. I know God is very busy helping everyone all the time, so I will not bother God when everything is fine. Will God think that I'm selfish and I only pray when I'm in trouble? Can I share the improvement of my inner spiritual truth seeking or other good mundane things with God?
Right. So I think for this person, they think that God is a person. No, God actually not a person that work in the office and and busy taking care of taking care of the population. No, it's not like that. God is everywhere and in everyone. Because if it's not like that, then he or she is not God. God have to be, be able to operate everywhere and in everyone, and God is also powerful. That's why there's a say that God is omnipotent, omniscient, and omnipresent. So it means God is everywhere, in everyone, and God is powerful. It's the quality of God, right? So therefore, yes, you can think of God, whether, your life go through the struggle or go to a happy moment. You can always share that with God. That's the practice of communication to the divine, right? And you should not shy away to share your improvement, your experience with God, because God is always there listening. Whether you know or not know that God is there or not, but God always operates inside you. Why? Because if it's no God, then if God is not there inside you, then God won't. Then you won't feel alive. Then you will be dead, right? You will die. because there's no power of God inside you. So only because the soul, which is part of God, is operate inside us, then, at that time, this body come alive, this mind come alive, these senses come alive. Then that's a sure sign that God is operate inside us, and you can make use of this connection by communicating with God and try your best, in your limitation to understand what God trying to say to you, because God is inside you, as also God is in everyone around you as well. So the message of God, if God want you to do something, then God will say to you in different way, through different circumstances, coincidences, and different people around you telling you what to do. Then, I would suggest that please not giving up, even if it's in your difficult time. Always in your heart, talk to God, pray to God, and let go of the result. Let's say, what solution God gonna give to you, and be acceptance, whatever good or bad, the outcome that you receive, because it's what God see that you need to learn at that time. That's your lesson to learn in order to progress and get closer to God.
Okay, still on the topic of communication. As the master is the messenger of God, if I want to communicate with God, can I just simply communicate with him or her directly when she has the time or he has the time? So I think the questioner is referring to the physical master.
Yes, the good way of direct communication is to connect with someone directly. And if that someone, your master, is be able to access by text, by phone call, by email, then yes, you should do that. But the better way of communication is communication with your inner master, because you can get instant reply. But sometimes, physical master also operate in limitation like you. They might live in different country, different time zone. They might have to do different job, different tasks. Then the answer is slow. You cannot get the answer instantly. So my suggestion is that, yes, you can do both ways. You can send a text, a message, an email to the physical master, and in between that you wait for that answer, you can also talking to your inner master directly. So let's see if the answer that come into your mind will match with what physical master answer back to you, reply to your email or reply to your text. So that's a good way. You can do both ways, inside and outside. Why not? Because you have the means to do that. Then exercise that, use that. So eventually you'll be able to build a direct communication with divine. So after that, you will need less and less attention of the physical master, because the relationship with your inner master is stronger. But I would suggest you to start this way, do outside and inside at the same time, and let's see what is the result of that.
Okay, still on the topic of physical contact. Does our physical contact experiences with a perfect living master play any role in our inner progress? Does it mean when one is always close to a perfect living master, one has an advantage over another who doesn't?
Yes, the advantage to meet with the POM in physical form is greatly, because POM can wash away one karma immensely when you are in their company. But because at that time, POM can share awareness of God, the Almighty, or the Satpurush with you, and at that moment, you have been pulled completely out of your character. So you have been pulled out of your own illusion, and you can be in the presence of divine love without any effort required. So, come into the close connection with the PLM. It helps you a lot to reach your destination. And it may also mean that that particular PLM will be the one who responsible to bring your soul home, as sometimes called the final master.
Okay, so what happens if let's say, some perfect living masters, they are also householders, they have families. So does it mean that their spouse, their children have advantage over just another disciple? Because they are living in the same household, they practically see the perfect living master almost every day. How do you, what's your opinion on this?
If their karma is good, if they can recognize that particular one and accept as their spiritual teacher as well, as a spiritual guidance as well, then they can make the best use of that personal relationship. But a lot of time, when they've been put in the same family, they are enemy from the past. Sometimes they wouldn't recognize that one, apart from being their spouse, being their children, or being their brother and sister in the family. They wouldn't recognize the wisdom of that one, and and respect that one to be their spiritual teacher or their guru. So it's not beneficial if they cannot recognize, they cannot see that, then it's so-called hindrance for them to progress on the spiritual path even. So it depends, even you're not a family member of the master, but if you have that in you, you respect that person, that one, to be your spiritual teacher, to be your guru, to be your master, then you can have the benefit of being in the presence of the divine directly. You see what I mean? It can go both ways. Just like, for example, in Baba Govinda Ji family, not every of his relatives initiate. Why? Because they don't see him that way. Not everybody being put on the path why they are the master family member. Sometimes they are enemies. So it takes time for them to digest this. And sometimes they have to die and pass away many lifetimes in order to recognize who is the master in the physical form and who is not. Because, master also have to take the karmic role in this physical form. Like when master comes, there will be a lot of people that loving him or her, and there's a lot of people that hating him or her as well. Because this is physical world, this is not heaven. So there's always negative at work and positive at work. Because it's the nature of this physical world, this human world.
The next two questions are not related to divine communication. They are more related to spiritual progress, but I'm just going to read it and you can feel free to answer or leave this for another topic. So let me begin. When you die while living and go to a higher level of consciousness, I believe this is during meditation. Will you even go back to your physical body?
Yes, when you meditate and you have experience of die while living, you will always go back to your physical body because the silver cord that connect the soul with this physical body is not been cut yet. It means your time has not come. Even you perform and meditation correctly and have the experience of die while living, which gonna happen multiple times because you will experience when you first die from your physical body, you will experience that when you die from your astral body, and when you raise above that, you will also feel that you die in your causal body. It can happen multiple times. So when you die in those body, you always come back. When you wake up, when you're out of your meditation mode, you will have to operate in your physical body again. Then yes, and when you connect with the higher consciousness or awareness, every time that you start to do your meditation, when you'll be able to withdraw your attention, then right away, you will start up where you left off. You will start to have awareness or experience at the higher level of consciousness where you left off after that. And yet you will always come back to the physical body. If Master is not cut your silver cord yet, you will always come back and start, and by start, right? Master say that nobody ever die in their meditation. Meditation is actually extend your time in this physical world. So some of the yogi in the Himalayas, because they in meditation state, all the time, higher meditation state, they be able to live for many hundred years because at that time they breathe slowly. They organ in their physical body working in very, very slow pace. So it extends their physical time. Let's say they supposed to live for 100 years. They can even live to a 900 year possible because our lifetime in the physical body, it's already right. Say that when you take a first breath in this physical form, it's already marked that how many breaths you will have to take in this physical form. For example, if I supposed to breathe in and out for 1,000,000 times before this physical body expires, it means that in that lifetime, I have to take a breath for 1,000,000 times, and after that, I meant to die. So that all of these yogis in the Himalayas, they be able to discover this secret. So what they do is that they slow their physical body down to the point that they barely breathing. They take really deep and long breath, like some breath can take a day, can take many days, just only take in and out of the one breathing. So it means that they can actually extend their life and not die from the physical form.
Okay, so in relation to the previous question, when you return to your body after attaining a high level of consciousness, wouldn't you feel like it's suffering to live in the physical body because you have greater adventure in the higher realms? Wouldn't that affect your ability to do your duty, your worldly duties properly?
Yes, it can be very emotional experience to experience heaven and come back to be a mortal, to be like a mere human, normal human again. So that's why we need support from a spiritual practitioner friend. We need a support from a perfect living master, a physical master that you can talk to, that you feel that, okay, other people also, have been put to the same experience like you. They have higher awareness. They don't want to be here, but they have to be here to perform their own duty. So a lot of time, master will suggest that you have to progress slowly in this spiritual part, because it can give you a shock like this. It can be very emotional when you experience something better, like being in even lower heaven. The people who experience even lower heaven and come back because they have the experience that they visit the other realm and coming back. They cry for days. They don't want to live here. And even the concept of eating, go to the toilet and go to work is very strange for them after they have the experience of heaven. So therefore, for the people who have to perform a lot of duty, have a lot of responsibility in this world, sometimes Master gives them very slow progress on their spiritual practice, because they have to fulfill this responsibility in order to finish their account of karma. And they can enjoy all the spiritual benefit or the higher realm later on, when they fulfill all of their physical karma, when they close all of their karmic accounts.
That's it for today's satsang. Thank you, main speaker, for spending time with us for this satsang. If you want more information about Ista Asia, please go to www.istaasia.com. You may also subscribe to our newsletter or email us any inquiries you may have regarding spirituality. Thank you for listening.